Hello everybody, it's Maikito, and as always, I'm going to start by going over last video's picks. I didn't make a video yesterday or today, I guess, for the game because there was only one game and I didn't think it was worth making a video for just one game. But I was one away from the sweep. Satriano over 2 hits. Luis Diaz is the only miss I had. He ended up with 4 exactly. He was just one less shot away from the sweep. Manuel let more shots than I anticipated, and that last shot was like I believe towards the last 10-15 minutes of the game, so it was close. Mandanda over 3 saves. I knew that one was a steal. He hit, and Omlin under 4 was also a steal. I think he ended with like 2. And then when it came to the money lines, I absolutely swept those. Tottenham money line, they worried us a bit at first, but they came through. Brest money line versus Mets, that one was also kind of a bit of a sweat because Mets scored more than I thought they were. And then my gut call are officially, I think, 4 for 4 or 3 for 3 or something like that. Hoffenheim money line versus Augsburg, I caught that one right on the money. They won by 1, and it was a really high scoring game. It was whether they can outscore the other one. So I caught that one perfectly. So ended up going 3 for 3 on money lines, 3 for 4 on player props, and 1 away from overall sweep. And hopefully we can keep that momentum going into tomorrow's Champions League games. Both Champions League games, in my opinion, are gonna be really close. So there wasn't a lot that I liked. I don't trust a lot of the player shots and stuff like that because I'm not sure exactly how each team is gonna play. And for example, Madrid, I'm not sure 100% how their defensive and midfield's gonna be. Whether they're gonna start Camavinga, if Militao's gonna start because he's coming off his injury. But for my first player prop, I have Manuel Neuer higher than 1.5 goals allowed, playing away from home for Bayern Munich, going up against Arsenal. Arsenal at home in the league is over this mark in 5 out of 5, and in the Champions League they're over this mark in 3 out of 4. There's only been 4 home games for them in the Champions League. Bayern, on the other hand, in the league are over this mark in their last 5 out of 5 league games. Then Arsenal, they need a gap, they need a win, and they need a gap because if they tie or only win by 1 or lose and they go back to Germany for the second game and they play in the Allianz Arena, it's going to be really tough for them. So they need a good performance at home versus Arsenal, and they need to take advantage of Bayern's bad form lately. And I just think that Arsenal have what it takes. I think they're full health. They're going to be having Saka and Kai and Martinelli and Odegaard. They're full defensive line. So I just think that this is basically that Arsenal will score 2, and I think they'll get that done. My second player prop is Ederson, lower than 3.5 saves, playing away from home for City, going up against Real. I just honestly think this line is too high. I know Madrid is a good team in the attack, but I think they're underestimating how good Manchester City is defensively. Just 3.5, I think, is just way too high. They are pretty much full strength. They do have 1 or 2 center back injuries with Ake and Kyle Walker, which is a big blow. But they still have Ruben Diaz, Akanji, Stones, Rodri, and I think they're still good defensively. And for him to get 4 saves would mean that they are letting Real take a lot of shots, and at that, shots on target. So I just think this is too high of a line. They played twice last season and then twice as well in the season before that. So I know those are kind of they're kind of long ago, last year and 2 years ago, but they have played 4 times in 4 years, and he has gone under this mark in all 4 games. And I think this is just too high of a line for a really good defensive team like Manchester City. So I like Ederson to go lower than 3.5 saves. And my last player prop, at least for now, unless I add more tomorrow in the description, which I likely will, is Rodri higher than 94.5 passes. You can take him at 98.5 because I know he's at that mark on Prize Picks. He's also playing away from home for City, going up against Real. He averages 112 passes away in the Champions League compared to 102 at home. So he averages 10 more passes away. And kind of like the Arsenal one that I took the other day with Odegaard, they play a little slower away from home. And I feel like this is just even more now because they're going to be playing Real, so they can't risk anything because one mistake and Real will catch them on the counter with Vinicius and Rodrigo. So I don't think they're going to be playing too... they'll play aggressive, but not as much as they usually do. He will play deep because, like I said, since Kyle Walker's injured, John Stones usually plays in the center defensive mid position with him. But because it's likely going to be Carl Lewis with him and he's a youngster, Rodri will probably be playing deeper to make cover for him in case he makes any mistakes. At least that's what I think will happen in my opinion. And they can't risk those counters with Vinny and Rodrigo, like I said earlier. And as long as the position of the ball is around 50-50, I think he'll get this mark. If they have more position in that 60 or 65, then this will easily hit because this is just a lower line compared to a usual line. It's just because Madrid have also like the position of the ball. But as long as it's 50-50, don't play higher than 98.5. I like Rodri to go higher than 94.5 passes. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to my partner, Underdog Fantasy. If my code is linked in the description and they match your first deposit up to $100. So I really appreciate if you guys would use that. I also have my Cashapp linked in the description in case you guys are feeling generous and want to get gift back. We've been doing pretty well lately. It's not required or anything. It's just very much appreciated. When it comes to the money line picks, I actually didn't pick any for the Champions League games. Like I said, I just think it's too close. The one thing that I did kind of notice is if you look at the Real Madrid and Manchester City game, you do have an opportunity to make money. This is what I would do. So both Real Madrid, I'll put a picture on the screen, at least what it's on Fliff. It's the same thing on other sports books like FanDuel and DraftKings. All for Madrid to win, they're at plus money. Manchester City to win, they're at plus money. And obviously draw is going to be at plus money. So if you want to risk it in the fact that you think one team won't lose, what you can do, for example, is if it's Manchester City, you think they won't lose, you can put, for example, a unit on them to win and a unit on them to draw or something like that. As long as Manchester City doesn't lose, you'll get profit no matter what. Same thing if you think if you think Real Madrid won't lose, you can put a unit on Madrid to win and a unit on a draw. And as long as one of those happen, pretty much that they won't lose, you'll make a profit no matter what. So that just goes up to who you think won't lose. So I just think that's a good opportunity to make money because that doesn't happen often because this game is just so 50-50. It could go either way. So I just wanted to tell you guys that I just think that's a good opportunity for you guys to make money, and I wanted to put that out there. All my moneyline plays are under the England Championship, which is the second league in England, and I did find a couple that I like there. I'm gonna go over my the safer one. Pretty much, it is Leeds over 1.5 goals. Playing at home, going up against Sunderland. They're over this mark in 4 out of 5 home games. They average 2.2 goals at home compared to 1.5 away. So they go up from 1.5 all the way to 2.2 at home. And if they win, they'll score at least 2. I don't think this will be like a 1-0 win. You can take their money line, but it's more juice. And I just think that if they do win, then they'll score at least 2, like I said earlier. Not only are they fighting for the title against Leicester City and Ipswich Town, top 2 in England, the Championship, automatically get promoted to the Premier League. And if you're third through like 6th or 7th or something like that, you go to the playoff promotion, like the battles and stuff like that. It's not automatic. And as of now, they are third. So that means they don't automatically get promoted. So they're going to want to automatically get that promotion and stay in the title race. And they need to win. And if they win, they'll score 2. So I like Leeds to go over the 1.5 goals. My second one, it is that the Millwall and Leicester game will have more than 2.5 goals. Leicester is over this mark in 60% of their away games, and they are over, and they've played twice this season, once in the FA Cup and once in the league, and they went over in both games. Both games were to Leicester, and they were both 3-2, and both teams need to win. Millwall are 2 points away from relegation. Like the teams that are in relegation, they only have 2 more points than them. And while in Leicester, like I said, they need to win that title, so both of them need to win. Neither team benefits from a draw, so both teams are gonna need to attack, and with attack means goals. Neither team benefits from a draw. They need to score goals, and this, in my opinion, comes down to pretty much that Millwall will score a goal, which means Leicester will need to score 2, and I think they can get the job done. And I just think you're getting good value on this play. So I like the Millwall and Leicester game to have more than 2 goals, so 3 or more. And my last play, this is my gut call play. So far, I believe I'm 4 for 4 on these. So I just like this, and this is a plus money play you can get right now. And this is that Preston will score 2 or more goals, so 2 over 1.5 goals going up against Huddersfield. They average 1.55 goals scored at home, while Huddersfield concede 1.7 away. So Preston will score for sure 1. It's just whether they get that second goal, and I think they will. And like I said, you're getting this for plus money. And the reason why I like this is, for one, they played earlier this season, and when Preston played them away from home where they scored less, they scored 3 against Huddersfield. And Preston are fighting. They are like 3 points. If they win this game, they'll be 4 points below the playoff promotion. Like I said earlier, that if they get in those spots, they can qualify to try to promote to the Premier League. So they need to win this game. And Huddersfield, on the other hand, how I said earlier that Millwall are 2 points away from relegation, Huddersfield is actually only 1 point away from relegation. They're not in the relegation, the bottom 3, but they're really close. They're only 1 point away. So for them as well, a draw does not benefit them. They have been drawing and losing the last couple games, so they need to be more aggressive against Preston. And I think that they did score 1 against them last game at home. Now they're playing them away, so I know they think they have the confidence to beat Preston. So this is just one of those where you could have gone Preston money line, you could have gone over 2.5. You could have got both of those for plus money, I believe. But I think you get better value for Preston to go over 1.5 goals, because I think they're gonna score 2. They need that win, and I did take them a couple videos ago at home, and they came through for us, and now we need them to come through. It was my good call for plus money. I like Preston to go over 1.5 goals. What I would do when it comes to my pairing on money lines is you can do the Leeds play and the Leicester Millwall play into one, make that a 2-legger, make that plus money, and then do the Preston over 1.5 plus money. So each 1 unit, so as long as one of the 2 hits, you'll profit no matter what. And if you want to, you can do a third one with all 3 of them. If you do that, then you can split them up, and if just one of them hits one of the plays, then you'll at least cut your losses. But if you want to play it safe and make sure you probably get profit, the safest thing to do is to do Leeds over 1.5 with the Millwall Leicester over 2.5 into one parlay, and then do the Preston over 1.5 goals in a separate parlay to try to guarantee you profit. Thank you everybody for watching. If you like the content, please consider liking and subscribing, and if you have a little time, please consider commenting as well. It doesn't matter what you say, just to boost the algorithm to more people. There are exciting games tomorrow. I'm gonna be watching those games, and I'm gonna be looking out for those lineups to see if anything changes last minute, or to confirm certain lineups. Lines could change, and then it could benefit us as well, so I'll make sure to keep an eye on those. So if there are added plays, make sure to check the description of the video, especially about an hour before game time, around that time. If it gets past like 30 minutes before kickoff, like 30 minutes before it starts, I won't add them just because I don't want to put them last minute and then you guys not being able to take them, and then if it hits me like say, oh, you should have taken them. So 30 minutes and more time from game time, I'll have more plays, so please make sure to check the description if there are more. But I think appreciate everybody for watching, and hopefully we can keep this little run that we're on right now going, and I hope you all have a good night.